Hi, everyone. So I wanted to come in front of you to talk about an interesting IPO which is right now in the market of Ola Electric. So there's a lot of craze because uh, it's the company which is leading the game when it's come to the EV space in India, in two-wheeler space, and it's very exciting because it started by Bhavish Agarwal, and a lot of people have a lot of faith in him. So I thought it's a good time for we to analyze. I think a very interesting thing which has happened in this IPO is that the valuation by the standards of December 2023 has dropped by 25%. Somewhere they were thinking with a valuation of 45,000 crores, but right now they are coming with an IPO which is valuing this company at a 33,500 crores. So let's analyze all the reasons. We'll start with the good points, understand why we think the valuation and how you should think about it. And at the end, I'm going to give my verdict whether am I excited to invest in this particular IPO or not. So do stay till the end because we are going to talk about everything dealing with this particular IPO. Great. Let's start talking about this interesting IPO. So now, if you think this company is coming with an IPO from 2 to 6th of August, so it's already in the market at an IPO price of 72 to 76 per share. The valuation, as we talked, is 33,522 crores. There's a steep discount of 25%. We will talk more about it. And this question was asked to Bhavesh. He said, I wanted to make sure to be priced attractively for the entire investor community in India. So let's see how much truth is there in this. This is very interesting because this is a company which is actually commanding 35% market share in FY24. Great. So let's start with the good points about this. So this is a company which in the last just 3-4 years has been able to grow the sales to 3,30,000 units only after 5 years of operations, which is really commendable, and we have to give credit where it's due. And it has not able to become profitable, but it has been able to bring down the losses to a great extent. So that's interesting. And if you see the revenue from operations has been increasing year by year, so that's also quite a achievement over there. And this company is definitely spending a lot on the R&D side, and the percentage wise, the fall has been quite interesting to see. Now, this company is saying that all the proceeds which they are going to get from the IPO, the four big reasons they are trying is capex, debt repayment, R&D, and growth. Now, I'm quite focused on the first three capex, important because they have just started the company. Debt repayment, I'm a bit worried about it, and we will talk a lot more about it. And when this debt has been taken, that's also an important factor. And the R&D is another important factor, is they have to ensure that they have a very good product. So they're feeling the pinch from the competition. So that's why they really need this money to put in the R&D section. Now, one interesting thing which has happened is with the fall in the valuation, it's not only the valuation which has fallen, but the amount of IPO which was coming for offer for sale is reduced drastically also. So Bhavesh himself has reduced the the amount of quantity which he was initially planning to sell uh, to now what he's selling, and this all happened between December to August when this IPO has come in the market. If you see that 90% of this particular IPO is coming as a fresh issue, while only 10% is coming as an OFS. What it means is most of the money, 90% of the money from the IPO is gonna go back to the company, which is good thing, but it also shows that company is right now in a dire need of funds. So they need funds, and that's why they are looking for coming with an IPO at this particular time. Now let's talk about the valuation cut and the OFS component being slashed. So we have already talked about the IPO has been slashed from 95 millions to 85 million. Bhavesh is selling less of his share. So 90% of this IPO is coming as, as a fresh issue, while only 10% of the IPO involves shareholders selling their stakes, which was very different from the Nokia in the late 2021, where 90% was the offer for sale. Now, interestingly, if you see, three of its investors, AB Initio Capital, Alpine, and Techni Private Ventures, will be selling some of its Ola Electric as a tidy loss. So this is just my interpretation that some of these investors might also have forced Ola to come up with this IPO because they want their money back, because they might not be seeing a huge investment or the returns they were initially expecting from this particular stock. Now, Uh, again, only my interpretation. But the traditional for valuation drop, which I can see from my interpretation, is now the valuation report in March 2023 pointed out that the company at 45,000 crores, and right now it's coming at 33,500. So they expected the company to making an operating profit of 400 crores in the year ended March 2024, but it ended up making an operating loss of 1,000 crores. Similarly, in July, just 2 months later, uh, it expected a net loss of less than 1,300 crores, but the net loss finally happened is of 1,600 crores. So, so both these valuation reports, which was valuing the company very high, uh, was also expecting the losses or the profit to start coming. Now, this is a very interesting slide thanks to Kane. So if you see, all the projections was till 2030, and they were projecting a very high figure. Uh, so these reports came in March 23 and then July 23. But over here, they projected that they will be at 9,096, but in the reality, they were at 5,847 on 31st July, and year ended March 24. Also, they were just at 5,010. So while they projected they should be at 9,096, they were only at 5,010. Similarly, they expected in the on March 23 that their losses would be minus 46, while it was 1,262, and in the year ended March 24 also, the losses were at 1,584. So the expectations were way high uh, of Bhavesh or all the Ola investors when they were investing or when they were creating these reports from what the reality is showing us right now. Now, talking about borrowing and competition, I talked about that. I'm looking very specifically at the debt repayment. And over the past few months, company has piled on another 700 crores in debt. Now, I'm quite worried about this particular figure, and 100 crores has been piled up only in the June itself. So, company was knowing that it's coming with an IPO where it will be raising money, but it still had to take these loans, which shows to me that I need to be a bit careful when thinking about this particular company. Another bit is we can't measure this company based on the price to earning or EV to EBITDA because at both these parameters, the company is still a loss-making company. But when we see to market cap to sales, Ola is trying to command a valuation of 6.7, while three big companies, TVS company, Bajaj Auto, and Hero MotoCorp, which has been operating for such a long time, are asking for market cap to sales TVS 3.1, Bajaj Auto 5.8, and Hero MotoCorp 2.8. So I believe I'm not very comfortable when it comes to Ola valuation at this particular point in time because it's still a loss-making company. Now, we all know Ola is the market leader with a 35% market share, where the other TVS, Bajaj Auto, Hero MotoCorp are at a little minuscule shares when it comes to EV space. However, I want to point out in January 11, 2024, Morning Context reported that 8,200 scooters of Ola has been sold to Ola Cabs itself. So this is our data in the public domain, and that's what has been reported. So what I'm saying is, a little bit of this number might be increased because they knew that they are going to come to the IPO. Another interesting fact is, I'm looking at the Bajaj Auto very carefully because when they started the Chetak brand, they only were started in the Pune, and then they spread it in the few areas in the Maharashtra. But now they are planning to roll it out all over the country. So they have slowly pepped this particular bit, and Bajaj, Hero MotoCorp, and TVS has a huge legacy of brand, which is going to help them when they expand nationally with their particular brands. We have talked about this, but what I believe is Ola has not stayed true to its promises. For example, they have a showcase in on every 15th of August where they show some product. So on 15th of August, they showed of 2022, they showed a product of an electric car, which they said that it will arrive in 2024. But when now this question has been asked to Bhavesh Agarwal, he has completely avoided the question and said that we never gave a time commitment. Similarly, on 15th August of 2023, they talked about a motorcycle which they have developed and it's going to come at the end of 2024. And now, while he has stated that they are right now in the progress, but we still have not seen a proper timeline when this motorbike is going to come to the public domain. Now, electric vehicle is a new industry, and there's not a lot of talent available in this space. So retaining our talent is another big factor which a company needs to take care of. But what we are seeing is in Ola, the attrition rate is as high as 44.25, and it was uh, previously as high as 47.48. So 1 out of 2 employees leaves in just in a year, and the the order cancellation rate is also moving on a higher side. So in 2023 to 24, it was at 9.14. So 1 out of 10 scooters gets confirmed, but it gets cancelled after the fully paid and confirmed orders. So which are kind of a worry sign for me. Another important factor when you have to consider an investment is the FAME subsidy, because electric vehicles are inexpensive in comparison to their counterparts in the ICE engine. Government was given 40% earlier to the ex-factory prices of a scooter, but now they are saying that they want to restrict it to only 15%. So what I'm saying is, if this happens, there will be a drop in the sales of the EV, and this will impact all the EV players. So all the projections which have been done right now, we have not seen those complete projections valuation, but if they have been done with a 40% fame kept in their mind, then this will affect them highly. Moreover, when Ola launched, and all this success is based on two scooters, which was above 1.5 lakhs. However, in the last 2 years, Ola has released three new models which are priced at less than 1 lakh. Now, if it's priced at 1 lakh, so that there will be a fall in the margins as well, which I am worried that will again will affect his profitability, and Ola is still not profitable. So the timeline to become profitable will increase drastically from here. So we are at the final slide of this IPO. I hope you would have got a sense of why I believe that the valuation is at a higher rate and why they have dropped the valuation game over here. So I believe in this space, this is quite an expensive IPO. Moreover, in the EV space, we are still not clear who would be the ultimate winner. Would it be a traditional player like Bajaj Auto, TVS, or Hero MotoCorp, or it would be Ather uh, uh, or Ola Electric? So unless I am very sure which would be the ultimate winner, I'm not gonna bet a market cap to sales of 6.7 times right now on the Ola. Bhav's past promises doesn't give me quite a good confidence to invest in it. I believe he has not seen much of a manufacturing, and now he is understanding the challenges which comes with the manufacturing, and with such a high iteration rate, which we have seen in the previous slide, it's gonna be a big challenge for him to succeed. And competition is going to come and become more aggressive, both from Hero and Bajaj in the next few years. And we also have to see the Ether journey, how that spans out, because that's again definitely a player with a better product in comparison to the other players in the market. So that's my understanding of Ola Electric. I do hope that you have got something out of this particular session. And so if you like this presentation, please do like and subscribe to the channel. It will definitely encourage to make more videos like this. Thank you.